How's it going, people? Thanks for joining again. Today, well, we're going to talk a little bit about surviving false gurus and grifters. Well, I'm not going to say much about it. What I'm going to do is share with you a podcast that is from YouTube, which I thought was really interesting, considering it's very much in line of what our own thinking of when we started Team Bubba is maybe a place for people that have been fooled, and of course people that have been grifted, scammed, whatever you want to call it, through money or just being made a fool out of, because that's what we've been done. And it's not just Kim here we're talking about a massive area of people that have been fooled spiritually and given really poor advice, given intel that they've gone and told their families, which has split families up, friends, and of course, like I said, time. People have been putting time into this, like our whistleblower Ben has said, thousands and thousands of hours that he put in to Kim's world, and it's really, really bad. The network is enormous, just from Kim. This is, we're talking at least 30 people. Some are quite involved, some are not. But it's massive than that. I mean, these are just like well-known names. Those that are building websites for Kim and other areas, promotion, including the TVs and UNN, and also the IPTV and everything else. There's thousands, I would say, that are involved in this globally. Even with the assemblies now disbanded, there's still people are waiting on, thinking they're going to get project money. They build projects, and they're just thousands and thousands of hours that have come just from one person. And the gurus I'm talking about, the ones that are coming out, Tank was one of them, for the revaluation, currency revaluation, Nazara, Jizara. And it's like I said, it's not just that people are fooled, and these are cults, and these are terrible people that have done this. But like what I'm just about to share with you, a person called Vera, not the Vera that works for Kim, from a YouTube site called the Matrix Breakdown podcast. Now, you may or you may not agree with everything that Vera's saying in her podcast, which is very much like, there's a lot of things we watch in our personal lives to do with the alt media that we just cherry pick little bits of information out of that are relevant to us. And so you might not believe, it might not fit with you with what Vera's saying, but we've clipped 10 minutes of her podcast, which is really relevant, which hopefully we see as good advice. Have a little listen to what Vera's saying in the podcast. Like I said, it might not, we'll put the link in and you can watch the full version of it. It's 20 minutes. And she's spoken about Kim quite a few times. But have a listen to this podcast. Hopefully he'll help you, those that have been affected by what Kim has done. You're the victims. And hopefully you'll find in your heart to forgive yourself for what you may have done. And like what she says in there, if you've fallen out with people and family, it's time, to make up with them. Don't feel embarrassed. Just explain to them what had happened to you and come clean. It's nothing worse than, that can be worse than money. Losing money is the friendship. It's quite a lonely world, what we do when it comes into, like, if you're looking into the alt media, truth movement, very, very lonely. So it's time to build those bridges with those people that you may have fallen out with. It's not too late for that. So please have a little listen to this. And like I said, if you want to subscribe to a channel, then please do. I said that there's some great information in there in most of the videos. You might not agree to all of it, like I said, but have a little listen to this one particular, and I'm going to play it right now. And just leave some comments if you've got. Please subscribe and share with your friends. So
hello everyone. Today is August 3rd, 2023. I'm going to do an announcement first. If we get thrown off of any of our usual locations where you listen to us, please look us up on kick.com. It's spelled KICK.com, or odyssey.com. And it'll be under our usual channel name. Okay, I want to start the podcast out today by addressing all the letters and the comments under podcasts which I've received about Kim Goguen. Let's do that first and get that out of the way. And then we'll get on with today's podcast. So in reading your letters, it's clear that some of you have invested not only your money, but a lot of time on projects related to Kim's group. And you find that after all the work you've put into these projects, money that you've put into it, none of the things which Kim talked about have come to pass. Now, I realize this must be incredibly frustrating and devastating to those of you who write about these things, as some of you have actually put your families and your relationships on the line to be busy with these projects related to Kim Goguen because you believed, past tense, that you were doing the necessary and good thing. First, and hopefully, it's not too late for you to repair that personal family relationship or relationships in your life that took a second seat. And I would suggest that you take the time and work on rebuilding those relationships wherever you can. And just know that some things take time, but let them know that you're not in the same headspace about believing everything Kim Goguen has been feeding everybody that you were back then. And it's okay to admit it, that you're just not there anymore and you're seeing things differently. And try to put it together with those who you love, first and foremost. Secondly, if you planted good seeds by helping people or reporting about injustices, then you must look at this period as not lost time. Because number one, you fully believed in what you were being told by Kim, right? And you believed that by you doing what you were doing, you would help the big help arrive, help for all humans. So the position of your heart was to do something good. It was to help other humans. And that just can't be faulted. But when those things that Kim promised or implied never came to pass, and your frustration began coming in and starting to feel like, well, I did all of that for nothing. I pray that you will remember that doing something good for our fellow human beings is not a waste of time. You, by preparing whatever reports you reported, by exposing events or injustices, you also did something that created something in a spiritual plane. You just might not see the outcome of it yet, but it doesn't mean that the work that you did with an honest heart, not for a grift, not for any motive of ego, but you did it because you genuinely wanted something good to come through into the earth, then it will have an outcome. These things that are done in generosity of spirit are about you. But anyone misleading you about anything that you're involved in is on those who misled you. Literally, whether now or later, anyone who misleads us, whether it's for grift of any kind, whether it's for money, whether it's for ego, or whether it's for some kind of perceived power, is someone who will end up eating from their own deadly creation. they're going to reap what they've created. But you were doing something out of a good heart, out of a sincere heart. And so the good work that is done from a sincere heart will stand. Sometimes the most important thing to do first is to forgive ourselves for being misled. Staying in that place of beating yourself up now will only paralyze you. You can't keep pounding on yourself and saying how stupid I was. I should have seen. I should not have diverted family money. I shouldn't have diverted family time. But instead, realize now what happened and take from it the good that you put into it. And then focus on what needs to be healed and repaired immediately, where you have control over events and situations, where you can contact someone in a relationship that was broken, or if, it's damaged someone financially, see what can be done about it, see what can be repaired about it. Those are things that you can have control over. And sometimes, really, I say it again, sometimes we just have to forgive ourselves. So the healing, whether it be within yourself or with your family members and loved ones, is where the focus should be, on the healing. And amazing things can come out of it if we are honest, if we are very transparent. And that is my personal opinion and reply about this mess with the Kim Goguen experience with people, okay? But I do want to encourage you, people who got sucked into all of it all. I have seen other people get taken in by other spiritual and political grifters who drained their followers of finances. They drained them emotionally, and they left followers absolutely devastated. And later, when the people saw that they had fallen into a lie and they were devastated by it, I want to tell you that there's a flip side to what you see about all the devastation. And that is that I have also witnessed that these same people that bought into all of these things went on to come out of it and into a deeper spiritual relationship and understanding on their own, without a guru or a character who claims to be someone for this hour, or someone who returned from the past, or someone with zero actual evidence of power in this dimension, while they're claiming that they have been assigned that power from somewhere else by some greater power, okay? And it's usually an elsewhere where we cannot verify or investigate such given supposed power and authority given to them. Yet there is always a grift or a sale of one kind or another going on, and it does deplete what you do have. Remember, the children of light will always shake out of and become free from the grifters and liars and deceivers. We come from a family of lights. Our Father is the Father of lights. Our family manifests truth. Our brother, the firstborn of many, is a brother who showed us a path that is clear, and it brings us into a clear, no spaghetti, Christ consciousness. We don't have to buy books and step over people and put in all this work 12 hours a day to come into something. It is clear. It is freely given. There's no spaghetti. It's very clear. The Holy Spirit within us nurtures us, guides us, instructs us, and when we need it, it heals us internally. Those who need healing from any bruising of your interactions with Kim or other groups that are similar, give yourself mercy and forgiveness. Do that first so that you can be healed. And please do remember that liars and grifters are always exposed. They expose themselves in time. I know that it's frustrating for some of you who really got taken in because it's like, how is this going on? It's still going on. Well, it may take time, but grifters and liars do get exposed. So remember that for those grifters who claim this will happen to you and that this is coming to you financially, and then when it doesn't come, decade after decade of various groups proclaiming these exact same kind of messages. You simply have to conclude that the obvious is the obvious. They do not speak with real authority or truth. The obvious then becomes obvious to all, and that will happen. So don't eat yourself up or beat yourself up over more people believing the lie, okay? Mostly, what I really want to pass on to you is please don't get stuck in beating yourself up for getting caught up in it. Beating yourself up will not help you to heal. Forgive yourself. Let it go. Let the Holy Spirit wash you of your bruised spirit and soul. Let Christ consciousness within you be your healing balm.